Last month, two grown billionaire wannabe alpha bros challenged each other to a literal cage match, all because Elon Musk flew into a rage after the chief product officer for Mark Zuckerberg's Meta said their Twitter competitor, Threads, would be sanely run. An obvious dig at the Nazi-friendly dumpster fire Musk's Twitter has become. That fight hasn't happened yet. But Zuckerberg's Threads launched yesterday, and it's looking like it actually has a shot of besting Twitter. In less than 24 hours, Threads had more than 30 million subscribers. It has an innate advantage compared to the many other Twitter alternatives that have cropped up, since you can automatically follow everyone you were already following on Instagram, and they can automatically follow you, creating instant community and familiarity. Zuckerberg has been making digs at Musk over the past day, posting that Twitter didn't succeed as much as it could have because it didn't stay, quote, friendly, and that he hopes to reach 1 billion users, something Twitter couldn't, quote, nail. Musk is now threatening to sue Meta, with his team accusing them of engaging in systemic, willful, and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. He probably said it in that voice. And hiring former Twitter employees who had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information, according to a letter obtained by Semaphore. Meta spokesperson Andy Stone responded, to be clear, no one on the Threads engineering team is a former Twitter employee. That's just not a thing. Joining me now is NBC News senior reporter Ben Collins. And that is the voice, I swear, that he used when he wrote that letter. You know, the thing that's so wild about it is it's like dude bro versus dude bro, right? Bad guy versus bad guy. And people are just choosing which bad guy they like least. But I definitely feel like Meta has the advantage here, because the thing that I think has been keeping people on Twitter is that they don't want to leave their following. They want to be where they're and they don't want to start from zero. You don't have to start from zero on Threads. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think a good analogy here is that Threads is sort of like the mall. You know, you go there, Wendy's is there for some reason. You can go down to Old Navy, I guess. They're also talking to people. But your friends might be there, too. And it's like, fine, it's OK. You know, it's comfortable and normal and you're used to it. And Twitter is like January 6th. So like that's the choice that you have to make. And for me, I'm going to take the mall.
The National Mall on January 6th.
Yeah, it's the National Mall. Right. Exactly. So look, that's really what it feels like. On Threads right now, it's kind of messy and complicated. They really haven't. I would assume they kind of pushed this thing out a little bit before it was ready. It has no browser or desktop experience. It has no chronological timeline. So the stuff that you're reading is from like 15 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago or an hour ago.
Right.
But it still feels safer. It just feels fine because it's not inundated with actual Nazis.
I mean, it doesn't have Nazis. I was just going to say, the thing it doesn't have is Nazis. And the other thing is you can read as much of it as you want, because this guy, Elon, this so-called genius, right, fired his whole tech infrastructure, pushed him out, and then is claiming they're working for Threads, which they're not. And then he made it so that he limits how much people can actually read. And he then said you have to be signed in order to read anything. And they're still not blocking hate speech by the blue checks, in which a blue check now only means you're paying him money. And he tried to make people pay money, which, dude, we're not paying you. We're not ever going to pay you. And so no decent people will pay. And so the blue check just basically means, you know, you're probably an incel.
You know, that's correct. I think at the end of it, Joy, really the question is, people want to go to a place where they know information will be reliable. And I think if a terror attack happened or something like that, or even something like NBA free agency or something where trade rumors are going around, there's lots of rumors and lies out there, they would probably, I would assume, tomorrow, they would go to Threads already. That's how fast they would go to it, because they know that check mark is, you know, assigned to a Instagram account that, you know, is probably checked in on from Instagram and Facebook. You know, they have the headcount for this. They were 90% of the way there. That's why they were always sort of in the lead for somebody who could take, you know, go and eat Twitter's lunch when it started failing. It's kind of weird it took this long, frankly, Joy. It shouldn't have taken, you know, 7 months. But I do think there is some sort of like camaraderie among the CEOs here that evaporated as Elon, you know, went down into the gutter.
Well, here's the other thing. There are lots of other ones. You know, there's Spoutable, there's Post News, there's Mastodon, we have a whole sort of thread. There's a ton of other ones. And then there are the embarrassing ones like Getter, which I'm sorry, it just sounds like a porn name to me. You know, and then there's the, you know, the older ones like Snapchat, et cetera. Why do you think it's because they just have the Facebook bandwidth, so they didn't have to put you on a wait list? They could just jump in, you know what I mean? Like Spill, which I love, is small, so it couldn't launch as fast. Is that what it is? Is that they could just jump right away, and that's why they're jumping to the front of the queue?
Yeah, and they had all of the stuff available, right? The stuff that Twitter got rid of in the name of censorship or whatever. The idea that somehow we need to allow everyone's worst impulses and racial slurs on these platforms and to allow targeted harassment. The stuff they got rid of there, Facebook had kept all along. They still have these moderation teams checking in on targeted harassment and checking in on the constant use of slurs on their platform. Turns out people want that. People want to feel safe on the internet. People want to feel safe to have a conversation with somebody about the stupid stuff they do in everyday life without getting attacked by weird strangers. So they were already in the lead with this. It would be a huge fumbling of the bag if they mess this up from here. Yeah. But look, I'm just gonna say this. I don't like Threads yet. I think it's kind of busy and weird and kind of, I don't know, it doesn't have its sea legs yet. But the fact that people were this thirsty and this hungry to get somewhere else this quickly, 30 million signups, that's 60 Wyomings overnight getting onto this platform. That means people really wanted off Twitter, but they needed it. They needed somewhere to get information immediately.
That's right.
They went to the first place that was available.
And you know how I knew that it was going to be doom for Elon? When Oprah and then all these media organizations started getting on. I mean, Politico, you can actually now news aggregate on Threads the way that I used to on Twitter without getting Nazis attacking you. And I'm sorry, that's just a better experience. I just prefer it. Ben Collins, no Nazis is a good thing. It's a better mall. Ben Collins, always appreciate you. And coming up, by the way, you can follow this show on Threads at The ReidOut, and you can follow me at Joy Ann Reid, JoyAnnReid. Please do, just like on the gram. Please get on board.